In navigation, the heading of a vessel or aircraft is the compass direction in which the craft's bow or nose is pointed. Note that the heading may not necessarily be the direction that the vehicle actually travels, which is known as its course or track. Any difference between the heading and course is due to the motion of the underlying medium, the water or air, or other effects like skidding or slipping. The difference is known as the drift and can be determined by the wind triangle. Your heading is subjective and based off the orientation arrow of your compass, not your compass needle, which is constantly being pulled to the center. We just navigated for the second time, maintaining our heading for all you goddamn Arnie Grape redacts that don't understand the difference between subjective heading and the objective measure that is your compass needle.
A compass doesn't work when there are two magnets pulling on it. The magnet in the middle is a constant pull. It creates the force that pulls your compass needle towards the north. Your compass must be spin freely in a circle on a pivot and make it go backwards so it shows it, so that it can do east-west cylindrical navigation. That's how navigation works.
The torque on your needle is created by the flux vortex of the magnet. The compass needle can be stamped with an N because it only points north. It's only being pulled one fixed direction to the center source magnet.
The magnetic field, the electromagnetic ether that exists around us, is constant. The pull of your compass needle is constant. If you have your compass sitting on a shelf in the other room, it's being pulled to the north by the magnet in the middle. If there's two magnets, the compass doesn't function. It doesn't work. It needs to pivot so that it can spin freely to do east-west circumnavigation for cylindrical coordination. Okay? This does work. This doesn't work. The south magnetic pole that doesn't exist would have to be constantly pulling on your needle. If that were the case, that would make your compass needle static. It would be fixed.
There's only one fixed direction, magnetic field and a compass.
It doesn't work. It does not work. Your compass isn't fixed. It isn't static. It isn't stuck in one place. It rotates on a pivot. If there were two forces acting on it, it would not rotate on a pivot. Therefore, navigation once again wouldn't be possible, on top of the fact that there has to be one fixed direction that is the same internationally for everyone in order for navigation to work. So if this is a globe from the top down and there's a South Pole magnet, guess what? It doesn't work. If it can't spin freely, it's not functioning.
The pole of your compass needle is constant. You live in a magnetic field that is constantly pulling towards the center. If you have a south magnetic pole magnet that's also acting on your compass, that means your compass would be static, fixed, never rotating, never pivoting, because there's only one up and down on your compass then, or, north and south or whatever. So when you're spinning around the map, it wouldn't be able to rotate and pivot because it has two forces acting on it. The opposite polarities of both alleged globe poles that don't exist somehow come about from iron filings on a bar magnet that scatter everywhere, but my iron filings that line up perfectly with the longitudes is fucking dumb, I guess, whatever. But it doesn't work with two magnets pulling on it at the same time. It can only work with one, therefore not possible. So the nothingness explosion that created infinite, ever-expanding nothingness, and this spherical Earth that is majority water, but somehow it can contain water, curved water on the exterior of a sphere, which no one's ever seen curved water before, because the law of physics is that water always finds its level. At rest, water is level. There is no curve to water. So on the exterior of your curving, spinning, revolving, rotating sphere, okay, which defies all laws of physics, just like the law of entropy that in the very beginning. So nothingness exploded and created something. No explosion ever created anything ever. All explosions destroy. So your nothingness, explosion of nothingness, created something. How does that make any sense? That's almost as dumb as saying laying a bar magnet flat on a table using an instrument that only works flat and then incorrectly using it means a globe with two poles. You don't tell the compass needle. The compass needle tells you. So the compass needle is telling us that is north. Direct observation of two people on this globe shows us that down is the center according to the globe. Sure, bro, fine, whatever. But that means he's upside down. So now let's take a comet, okay? So let's say that there's an asteroid or whatever, and it's coming across, all right? Now, at the top here, we all in the northern hemisphere see that go from across the sky, from downwards, okay? It's coming down across the sky. But if it passes, once it passes the equator to Weetod, the comet would be rising from the horizon. And that never happens. The stars in the compass, navigation, like so every objective measure of reality, it's the conclusion of all objective measures, all of them. This T level is like 3 out of the 6 basic instruments of an airplane, called the 6-pack. When you fly a plane, it stays level flight, cruising level altitude, okay? Flying across. So we go from here to here, and we go down. Now on the globe, if we want to go visit Weetod, we start here, which is flat and level. Then we take our elevation, and we get our altitude. Now, we have to, if we don't constantly nose down, let me get it level and show you. If we don't constantly nose down on a globe, we will end up out of space. So on a globe, on your airplane, you would have to compensate for this curvature. If we lived on a globe, pilots would have to compensate a full mile every 2 minutes, traveling 500 miles per hour. And that never happens. So you think it's raining upside down in Australia? You think trees grow upside down in Australia? You think there's curved water on the exterior of a sphere and not held in a vessel like a puddle, like everyday life that you see every fucking day? Like every single day of your life, you see water in a container because water has to be contained. It must be in a vessel. It's always rest flat. The Nile River is beyond evident that the earth is flat and not a globe. The stars, every instrument, the compass, sextant, astrolabe, star maps in general. If this is a never-ending expanding nothingness, the stars would change. They wouldn't be fixed. The South Pole star is not a fixed pole star. It rises and sets. It cannot be seen by everyone at the same time. The North Pole star never rises, never sets. It's fixed in its position, and all constellations that revolve around it can be seen by everyone at the same time on this Northern Hemisphere meridian.
What's up, my buds? Welcome to another episode of Globers Say the Darndest Things. And we got Bill here saying the Panama Canal wouldn't exist on the flat Earth. He's asking a question, and well, sounds pretty darn to me, because right here's the Panama Canal. All right, Bill, well, I hope we answered your question. The answer's yes. The Panama Canal exists. It's right about here. Okay? So, I hope that helps. Thank you for watching another episode of Globers Say the Darndest Things. Stay flat, my buds!
What up, fam? Listen up. Why is every single picture of Antarctica from space fake? You can use whatever search engine you want and look this stuff up yourself. And Globers don't think this is sus. Maybe, just maybe, they lied to us about where we live. It's 2024 and we don't even have a real picture of this place from the alleged space. So what my question is how many coincidences do you guys need to believe in to stop believing in cartoons? Because believing in this stuff is the adult version of believing in Santa Claus. It's time to wake up, guys.
I understand when people can't understand certain things like perspective. That's fine. Not everybody gets it, but there are people out there commenting on my channel that not only don't understand it, they're arrogant and rude and saying, I don't understand it. I'm the one explaining it to you. So if you did understand it, why would you keep asking me questions like, why are the stars spinning in an opposite direction in Australia than in North America? Because people ask me that over and over and over again and say that they've researched the flat earth model or the atomic model of the world. A torus field spins above you, okay? If you researched it, you would know the answer to that question. Clearly, you have not. So, I'm going to answer it for you now, and I'm going to put it very simply in this demonstration. Granted, the last time I did this with a fan, some guy said, that's a ceiling fan, love. Like, I'm so stupid, I don't know it's a ceiling fan, for one thing. But yes, a ceiling fan can demonstrate perspective. I don't need to actually go outside and look up at the stars to show you perspective. I'm going to show you how it works. That's the North Pole. The blades represent the stars moving out to the outside of the disk. They're moving right to left, above you. The blades above you are moving right to left. You turn around and you look to the south from the southern hemisphere. You're looking south. Oh my God, what happened? They're moving left to right. Because you're looking at the stars going that way now, they're appearing to move left to right. Okay? But when you look north from the northern hemisphere toward Polaris, they're moving right to left. Oh my God, it's magic.
Things we read, either religious or non-religious, we have to match that with what we're experiencing in reality. In reality, planet Earth is spherical. No, bro, nope. In reality, water takes its level. It also needs a container, and it is never curved. In reality, the sun rays are angled because the sun is closer than they're telling us. In reality, the stars are the same, and they have the same star pattern every single night, night after night, for thousands and thousands of years. In reality, I've seen both the moon and the sun out at the same exact time. In reality, I've been on planes, and there is no curvature. You don't live in reality. You live in a virtual game system. You depend on nothing but CGI images. The news station that comes through the black screen. None of it you've seen with your own two eyes. Absolutely none of it. And you're calling it reality. This is where it's becoming a problem. You ever seen the movie The Matrix? That's reality at this point. Reality is the reason that the sun and the moon eclipse so absolutely perfectly is not because they perfectly are just distanced perfectly to do that. No, they are the same size. Everyone's always like, oh, the sun sets. No, it's perspective. The same way that the road looks very, very, very tiny all the way down there when you're driving, but as soon as you get up to it, it gets bigger. The same way the road disappears because you can only see so far. The same way we can pull the boats back in with zoom cameras that supposedly went over the curve. No, they did not. Every claim that you guys have that you guys say there isn't proof for, we've already debunked it, literally. You act like there's a bunch of flat earthers because we just woke up one day and said, the earth is flat. Reality is there's not a single glober that has ever been to the moon, been to outer space. They've never seen a meteor hit. Oh, they have meteor rocks, but those aren't real meteor rocks. This is all a virtual game to our government. And we are the pawns. And the longer you stay trapped in their ideology, they have you. They have you exactly where they want you. Brainwashed and following like sheep. Bah!
I'm about to prove to you that we actually live on this, and not on this spinning water ball with curved water. And it's all in God's Word. We're in the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 18. Hast thou with them spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass? Is that why Hillary always talked about breaking that glass ceiling? Is that why they try to break it in Operation Fishbowl? Operation Fishbowl was a series of high-altitude nuclear tests in 1962 that were carried out by the United States, also known as Operation Dominic. Dominic meaning belonging to the Lord. Well, check this out. We're in Proverbs 8, verse 27. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth referring to the oceans. Verse 29. When he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment. So what is this compass that God placed upon the face of the earth to stop the waters from exceeding his commandment? What's another word for compass? Boundary. The boundary is the Antarctic ice wall surrounding us, keeping the waters from exceeding God's commandment. But you guys could either trust God's word or your buddies at NASA that wear Freemason rings and throw up weird signs like this.
This land surveyor and globe believer confirms that the formula for the curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared.
And this book details a history of the measurement of Earth from 1906, details work from several surveyors over the centuries, and here we have an actual book of measurements from 1900, measuring the American arc of the parallel, and it goes over triangulation. Now, when a surveyor surveys, they don't have to recreate the wheel, as it were, with surveying. We build on the knowledge of those that came before us, and we do that through textbooks. The 8 inches times the mile squared formula, represented in the middle of the screen here, as the C equals 0.667 m squared. All right, and then we have this book, Surveying Measurements and Their Analysis by Buckner. This is another book in my library, and it has the 8 inches times the mile squared curvature correction formula in here.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.